Can a plant survive in a hot desert without rain? No, right? In the same way, plants have some adaptations. Adaptation means some special features. Like uh, adaptation means some special features which a plant has to live in that desert areas, plain areas, marshy areas, and coastal areas. So, today we are discussing about adaptation in terrestrial plants. So first we have to learn about habitat means a place where a plant gets food, water, shelter and survival in that environment. It is called habitat. So we have learned about habitat and adaptation. So what is adaptation means a plant having special features to live in that environment. It is called habitat. So the plant helps to survive in that surroundings. That is called habitat. In different climates, it can have some special features so that it can survive in that environment. Today, we are discussing about adaptations in terrestrial plants. So, adaptations in terrestrial plants are of first terrestrial plants means which live on land are called the plants which are found on land are called terrestrial plants. So, first one is in terrestrial plants we have desert plants and mountain plants, adaptations in plain areas, mountain adaptations in mountain areas, and adaptations in plain areas, and adaptations in coastal areas, and adaptations in marshy areas. Terrestrial plants, in terrestrial plants, terrestrial means which live on land. We have desert plants, adaptations in mountain areas, adaptations in plain areas, and adaptations in coastal areas, adaptations in marshy areas. So let's learn one by one. So now let's learn about desert plants, adaptations in desert plants. So desert plants means very hot climate and very dry and very little water is present in the desert areas. So, in desert areas, very little water is present and very hot climate is present. And which plants are found in desert plants means cactus plant is present and date palm plants are found in the desert plants. So, in desert plants, very hot climate and very little climate. So, how will be the plants? Let's learn. So, there will not be any leaves. So cactus, how it will be? So this is a cactus plant. So no leaves. So the plant has no leaves. And in the place of the leaves, green stem will carry out the photosynthesis. Understanding? So there is no leaves in the desert area plants, but the photosynthesis is carried out by the stem. This is stem part. And this stem part shows this desert area plants have the capacity to store little to survive with little water. So the plant stores water. So these desert plants have the capacity to store the water and they survive with that little water, and the stems are spongy and fleshy. Desert plants are spongy and fleshy, and they have spines. These plants have spines. So these are spines. So long, they have long roots. What do they have? Long roots. These long roots grow deep into the soil, and they survive in the sandy soils and very hot climate also. So we have learnt about adaptations in desert area plants, and now we are learning about adaptations in mountain areas. Adaptations in mountain. So mountain areas, they are very cold regions. So mountain areas means they are very cold regions. So in those cold regions, how the plants will be there? So the plants, when you go to the mountain areas, you can find cold snow, and falling on the trees. So by looking on the snow falling on the trees look like Christmas trees. So uh, you think that these are Christmas trees? Not. They are they are also trees, but they are not the Christmas trees. Why? Because in those areas the trees will be in cone shaped. So how will be cone shaped? Because when the snow falls on them, when the snow falls on these plants, the snow will sheds off. So in this way, the plant survives in the cold regions, and the leaves are sharp. Sharp leaves are present, and they are flowerless, and these mountain area plants are flowerless, but they have cones. Inside the inside the cones we can see seed seeds. So through the seeds they get new plants. Understanding everyone? So we have learnt about desert area plants and plain area plants, and now we are learning about coastal area plants. So adaptations in coastal areas. Adaptation in coastal areas. So in the coastal areas, the plants will be in. So coastal areas means you have to remember the seas and oceans. So coastal areas means seas and oceans. You have to remember. Okay. In those seas and oceans, like when you go to the beaches, you can find coconut trees and some different types of long trees. Those are trees are very long, and they have very deep roots. How will be the roots? Deep roots, and they have they are the stem is flexible, and when the plant in those areas they get very strong winds. Okay, they get very strong winds. These winds, when they when these winds when they come, they have the leaves are with long stripes. The leaves are with long stripes. Okay, and seed dispersal. So when the strong winds come, the coconuts fall in the water, and they when they fall in the water, the seed germination takes place, and seed dispersal, seed germination takes place, and it travels that does the coconut travels to the other beaches, and new plant formation takes place through seed dispersal. That is called seed dispersal. Okay, and now we have learned about coastal area plants, and now we are learning about marshy areas. So adaptations in marshy areas. Adaptations in marshy areas. So, marshy areas means the plants will be in the muddy waters. Okay, the plants will be in muddy waters, and lots of mud and water will be present. This is the mud, and lots of water will be present, and they have very strong root. Two types of roots will be present. One strong roots will be in the muddy water, they go deep into the soil, and another one is above the water. Why? Because these roots they can't move, and they can't take oxygen. So they have breathing roots. What is this called? Breathing roots. So these breathing roots they take oxygen, and they come outside. So we can see these roots growing outside the water, outside the soil, muddy soils. Okay, they are called mangroves. What they are called? The plants growing in marshy areas are called mangroves, and they have breathing roots. What do they have? Breathing roots. Okay, this is about adaptations in marshy areas. So what we have learned? Adaptations in marshy areas, and adaptations in we have learned about desert area plants also. We completed desert area plants, mountain area plants, plain areas, coastal areas, marshy areas. One, two, three, four, five. Okay, very good. We have completed five. So this is about adaptations in terrestrial plants. Understanding? We have learned about desert area plants, plain areas, marshy areas, mountain areas, and coastal areas. Okay. Next, in the next class, we'll learn about one more topic. Okay. So, plants may not move like animals, but they have incredible survivors. They are the incredible survivors. In deserts, in ponds, in mountain areas, marshy areas, coastal areas, they have amazing adaptations, which helps to live and grow in that environment. So nature is truly wonderful. So do you agree? If you enjoyed this lesson, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you want to learn more about science topics, and please do subscribe my channel and follow my channel. Thank you very much.